you. How's everyone doing tonight? Y'all, we're all warm now. We are here. We are safe. Gosh. I'm Jordan, and this is my husband Sean. We are from Florida. We're Flagship Romance, and we just got home actually, back to Florida from a 6-month tour just a couple days ago, and we're stoked to get back in the car and drive up here and play for you guys. But really, actually. So we're gonna play some songs from our new album. Our new album's called Tales from the Self-Help Section. And we're gonna play some songs from that, a couple other songs, and we're gonna start with this one, and it's called Friends.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way. Just kidding, here we go. This one's not as good as that one, but we'll see, you know? Hey Joe, can I get a little bit more guitar? Just a tiny bit. Thanks, man. Perfect, yeah! I got friends. I don't know how they found me. I got friends to clean and dress my wounds. I got you to love me something fierce no matter what I do. Despite the mess I make of things, I got you. Alright? Woo! And I got friends to keep my whistle blowing, mama. I got friends, yeah. Karaoke in the middle of the night, and I got you to exercise all my demons, the scare of you, babe. And the light that you let shine, I got you. Woo! Oh. When it gets hard to get by, well, I think of you. How in the hell did our worlds collide? Oh, how did they collide on Davidson Street, yeah. Get me higher than a Pink Floyd track, yeah, when I got you. There is no denying bulletproof. All the shrapnel swirling around when I got you. We're dancing on a thin red line. Where would I be without these friends of mine? Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you, friends, for braving the elements and being here tonight.
Yeah! This next song was inspired by the first time the two of us, born and raised Floridians with just warm blood, decided to tour through Canada. And that was in the month of November a few years ago. And that was a big learning experience for us about what cold really is. And it inspired this song, and this is a song about doing things that test your limits and push your boundary and your bubble just a little bit farther. We did a music video for this song where My original idea was to walk around, or actually to go skydiving, was my original idea for this song. And my wife informed me that if we did that, it'd be the ugliest music video of all time. Because she'd be crying, and the makeup would just be everywhere, and my makeup would be everywhere. And so then we came up with this idea to walk around our local arts market with a whiteboard that said, "What scares me the most is blank." And we would ask complete strangers to write out their deepest, darkest fear, while my brother filmed them with 2 camera angles. And it was such a really, really cool lesson in our shared humanity through something as personal and dark as our fears. And so, thank you for scaring yourselves today and breaking the elements. This song is called "Scare Yourself."
Fly down mountains when it's 15 below. Tell that boy in English class you think you might need him. He may feel the same, you'll never know. Life can be sugar sweet like candy in July, and it could have a darker side. Slack on the safety belts when you get on the ride. Gotta scare yourself sometimes. You gotta scare yourself sometimes. Yeah! Jump out an airplane from the big blue ceiling. See how small you are compared to this land. When nobody knows an answer, well, it's time we try to understand. Life can be sugar sweet like candy in July, and it could have a darker side. So leave some slack on the safety belts when you get on the ride. Gotta scare yourself sometimes. You gotta scare yourself, no, gotta scare yourself sometimes. Woo! Woo! Standing at the evening Muse, just singing songs that make me nervous. Red kind I might open some eyes. Choose the one you love, not based on rules or religion. Fall for who you love, don't ask why. 'Cause life can be a beauty queen, long may she reign, or Halloween every day. She sends those chills with a smile straight down your spine. Gotta scare yourself sometimes.
You gotta drive in the South when it snows.
Sometimes they don't want to handle it. You gotta scare yourself. You gotta scare yourself sometimes.
Thank you!
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Just have a quick little, it's the holidays, and sometimes holidays get me down a little bit. I don't know what it is. My anxiety starts creeping up really bad. I don't know. I felt compelled to tell you this story. Some days you can feel like you're having the worst day ever. Some days, you're driving 6 hours to Charlotte because you're so excited to see so many old friends, and then you get closer and closer, and then you see that the weather's getting worse and worse, and then you get text after text that's saying, I don't know why you're braving this, because I'm not. You know? And some days that can really get to you, and you feel like that you're, I don't know, you're not connecting, or you're just not having the best day. And on this tour that we were just on, we played in Phoenix, and it was one of those days where you're just kind of feeling like you're not connecting. And during the intermission, we were playing a house concert. We do a lot of house concerts, and this gentleman walked up and he said, "Thank you so much for your video, for your song, Scare Yourself. I have a 16-year-old son, and I've never really felt like I've been able to talk to him or connect with him. And I watched your video, and it gave me this idea." So he said, I got 2 sheets of paper, and I wrote, "What scares me the most is blank" on both of them. And I kept one for myself, and I handed the other one to my son. And I wrote out what scares me the most, and he wrote out what scares him the most, and then we swapped. And he looked at mine, I looked at his, and then I started writing underneath his, and he started writing underneath mine. And then we swapped, and we swapped, and we swapped. And he said, "That was the first time I've ever really felt like I've had a conversation with my son, so thank you very much." I just say that because, like I said, some days you can feel like you're not having the best day ever, or you feel like, I'm driving up to Charlotte and I might play for 5 people, and you don't know what impact your random act of kindness or your art or whatever you put out in the world is going to have on somebody else. So keep doing what you love and keep trying to inspire others.
Preacher, baby.
Is it Sunday? Is it Sunday?
Right? So this song we're going to play for you is a new one. We wrote this while we were on our tour, and we were driving through Montana, and the news was on, and yay Montana, and the news was on, and this news report came on about how the military generals were trying to figure out how to enact this new policy of banning transgendered military service members from the military, and it got us both down. And Sean immediately thought, "Man, wouldn't that be a song?" But how do we go about writing this song? And so about, I don't know, a month later, we were on a ferry in Canada, and we had an hour and a half, and it just happened. And so we just recorded this song for our new album, and we hope you like it. It's called "Julie Wants to Go to War."
Julie wants to go to war, to fight for the right of being born unsure. She never fit into those high heel shoes, rather lace up a pair of combat boots. Julie dreams of that old front line that her granddaddy told back in '69. With an M16 pressed against her skin, she'd forget all about the wars within. 'Cause Julie wants to change her name to Daniel. Julie wants to come out of the shadows. Uncle Sam, I don't mean to cause any trouble. Julie's sticking on the B station somewhere in Korea in the DMZ. She was fighting for freedom and the right to choose until the day she read the news. On her way back home, she tried her best to stay, but they still said no. All because she is a gender that she wasn't assigned. They're telling her they don't want her sacrifice. 'Cause Julie wants to shoes. Now they sit in the closet with her combat boots.
Thank you.
That has gotten better. Those vocals have gotten a lot better.
Amsterdam?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Alright. So, how many of you guys have never seen us before? Raise your hand. Right now. Cool. This is awesome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So the two of us are not brother and sister. We are in fact married. And we were born to two sets of the most supportive parents on the face of this earth. And the two of us, we don't have kids. And we like being Uncle Flagship and Aunt Romance. And, but we talked about how interesting it must have been for our parents to raise two kids. They do really well in school. One of them wants to be an interior designer. The other one, after seeing Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, wants to be an attorney. And then one day they make that transition from singing into a hairbrush or playing air guitar to packing a Subaru Outback full of equipment and touring across the country, playing in venues, theaters, homes, kitchens, living rooms, home domes, yurts, etc. Yurts,
Yes.
for real.
Super
They
fun.
sound amazing.
Highly recommended.
So,
That's awesome.
we wrote this song for our parents out of a place of gratefulness and thankfulness that they support us in what we do and how they've never flinched in front of us. It's really cool. The song is called Amsterdam. Cheap tattoo with your name in a heart, arrow shooting through. I don't need a ring, you let me sing. I don't know where I would be if you were the branch on my family tree. Who knows the life that I would you let me see. Women down in Amsterdam. Oh, how much different life would be. I don't know how long you'll stay, but I'll hold you close until that day you gave me life. want to do Buddha now, or you want to do this land?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Do it now. Yeah, do it now.
All right.
Why wait?
Okay.
So, let's see. Well, when the two of us were kind of, actually, we were in Asheville, weren't we? We were just kind of far, huh? From here. Anyway, we were in your state. We were in your amazing state, and we were in Asheville. And I woke up from a dream. And it was one of those dreams where, you know, you wake up and you're like, that was crazy. I can't even explain what just happened in my dream. But I did remember one thing, and it was a line. And the line was, I met Jesus in Buddha's backyard. So I told Sean, and he was like, we are writing a song, like right now. So we wrote this song, and it didn't quite make the cut for our latest album, because we didn't feel like it was ready yet, until some friends of ours who are a trio out of Kansas, they're called Power and Light. They came, they were touring, they played a show with us in Florida, and then they stayed with us for 3 weeks with their 2 huskies. And over breakfast one morning, Sean got the guitar out, and he was like, I feel like they would like this song. So we started playing this song for them. And the 3 of them put their 3-part harmony on top of our 2-part harmony. And it was just the most amazing thing to us. So we said, well, sounds kind of hippy-dippy, but we were like, this is why it wasn't ready. It was waiting for you guys. So we went into the studio, and it snuck its way onto our album as a 5-part version. But we're going to play you our 2-part version tonight. And this is called Buddha's Backyard.
Everybody having a good time so far?
Woo! Who's excited to see Sarah Peacock? Yeah! We love Sarah. Sarah played 2 shows with us in Texas, and then she was so generous to have us on these shows this weekend. So, all right, Buddha's Backyard.
Rocks.
In Buddha's backyard,
They were both barefoot.
they were both laughing.
They said, why do you make life so hard? We gave you free will, so why are you still a slave to yourself? Yeah, I met Jesus in Buddha's backyard. Alright. And I saw God in the eyes of a child. And in the reflection, I saw where we came from, yeah. 'Cause we don't arrive fearfully wired, and we're not born racist, we're born with mercy. How soon we forget. Yeah, I saw God in the eyes of a child. Woo! So let the earth be thy church, and let love be your temple. And if you want heaven, build your own heaven. It's really that simple. And I'll find grace in the invalid, grace in the poor. I'll find grace in the palm of my hand. And I'll see grace in the atheist, the Torah, Quran. I'll find grace in whatever I can. And I'll find grace in the invalid, grace in the poor.
right.
Would you be fine?
Yes. So, you want to tell this one?
Yeah. No, you can tell this one. You tell this one. You got it.
Alright.
I'll tell this one. No, I got this one.
So when the two of us met, the song's about being at a crossroads in your life. You have like those really tough decisions to make, like, you know, it's really nasty weather outside. Am I gonna leave? No, I'm just kidding. But you know, the really tough ones where when you make that decision, you know deep in your heart that it's gonna change the trajectory that your life takes for the foreseeable future, you know, until that next crossroads hit. And when the two of us met, it felt like we were at like a humongous intersection. There was just like so many, and we'd both gotten like spit out of really bad personal relationships, and like we'd both been dropped from the labels that we were on doing our solo projects. And then we went to the same high school, but we never met each other, and we just kind of like met at this time, and we went on what I thought was a date. But Jordan did not think it was a date. Those are fun. And
It turned out to be a date.
that's all that matters, I guess. And so then we became best friends that made out, because we didn't want to say that we were in a relationship. We were just best friends, made out, you know. And then slowly but surely, you know, we started making this music together, and it was such a breath of fresh air for the two of us, because, you know, I was signed to a major label when I was 19 for a few years, and at the same time Jordan was signed to an independent label in the UK. And those were both very creatively stifling positions that we were in. And so when we started making this music together, it was almost like you just got back with the band, you know, in your garage. You're just playing just for, you know, for fun. And there was no limit on what we could do. And so then when we started making this music, we were like, well, how are we going to make a living doing something